All right, this is your brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aquath that's listening and learning. Today's video is going to be entitled, "The U.S. Failed to Warn the People of the UFOs." Now, my brother Sahar sent me this article, I believe it was last night or the night before, and told myself I was going to get into it so I can read about it. And this comes from nowtheendbegins.com. And pretty much, let's read the headline. It says, Pentagon whistleblower warns that the United States government has failed to warn the public of the intensity of UFO incursions to Earth. Now, we've been giving people the warning about the so-called UFOs that they are the chariots of the Lord. All right. And we're starting to see more and more of them the closer and closer we get to the return of our Lord, Yahweh Shai. All right. We're starting to see them in these great forms, these amazing forms. You know, we've seen videos where they're actually in cloud form. We've seen them in the light form where, you know, they're very bright. We've seen them in cube form. The silver looking form, triangle, you know, all kind of shapes, all kind of glory of the chariots. And we've been telling people that these chariots are going to do two major things. One, those chariots are going to deliver the elect of Israel, speaking to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the elect of those people, because you are the chosen people of the scriptures, all right, of the nation of Israel. They're gonna beam up and save the elect of those people. And they're going to destroy this place, all right? Because Yahweh Shai, he's going to come back on the most mightiest of chariots, which is a so-called UFO. And he's going to destroy America along with other parts of the world. And those chariots are going to be shooting lasers out of those, you know, they're going to be shooting lasers out of the chariots. And they're going to destroy people. And they're going to destroy these lands, all right? So let's get into this article right here. It says, Elizondo made it clear in a press conference that UFOs have been observed to have qualities that are nothing less than otherworldly. He described vessels flying at 11,000 miles per hour. Woo! And being able to turn instantly. Providing a comparison, he explained, for our most advanced jets going at the same speed, if you wanted to make a right-hand turn, it would take you about half the state of Ohio to do it. And Elizondo resigned from the AATIP as he sought to bring the discussion about the UFOs into the mainstream, describing them as a national security issue. That's crazy on his own, man. Going 11,000 miles per hour. When you get into like a Corvette or something like that, people are impressed that certain of these cars, you know, can go from 0 to 200 miles per hour in like, what, 60 seconds or something like that. And they like, man, that's fast. They said you could literally, one of their jets, one of their most advanced jets, can't even do what a chariot can do. They said it was going at 11,000 miles per hour and it could turn around instantly and go right back, man. All right. They said it said for a jet to do that, it'll take half a state just so they can turn around and keep going within their direction. So it's showing, they showing you how powerful these chariots are. This is why we say, you know, these chariots are going to be doing a lot of damage, man. And there's nothing that you can do about it, you know, because Esau, the so-called white man, he's going to try to fight the Lord and the chariots when they come back. But you're not going to be able to do anything. You can't even keep up with it. If you can't even keep up with it, it makes you think that you even have a chance to even shoot it. It's impossible, man. Let's keep reading. It says a former Pentagon investigator who claims to have run a hush-hush UFO program has warned in an upcoming blockbuster report about unidentified aerial phenomena could reveal a failure by U.S. intelligence agencies on par with 9/11. It says, isn't it strange how our government here in the United States reversed their position in an instant, that UFOs were not real and that only nutty conspiracy theory basement dwellers believe they were real? And they did it with no apologies, no explanation, no filling in the blanks to get us all up to speed. And, you know, of course, because they don't want people to wake up to the truth. They don't want people to wake up to what's really going on, because if people woke up to what's really going on, it'll be harder for them to bring in a new world order, and it'll be harder for them to control the masses. And they don't want to have people alarmed, man. You know, they want to keep people asleep. That's the whole goal. And it says, of course, what they don't know is that what they are encountering are not space aliens at all. They are the fallen angels connected with the Genesis 6 giants. And that's a lie. All right. They don't know what the giants or those sons of God were in Genesis chapter 6. In Genesis chapter 6, the sons of God, the sons of God are Israelites. They're actual men. They are not fallen angels. Okay. Lord willing, I'll get and make a lesson explaining that, because you got a lot of people, including Israelites, that say when you read Genesis chapter 6, the son of God are fallen angels, when the scriptures tell you that angels don't have sex, man, because angels are in a different body form. All right, so Lord willing, I'll get into that later on tonight, and then make a lesson about that to prove that point. But in Genesis chapter 6, those are not fallen angels. Those are Israelites. Those are men. But anyway, to get back to this, it says, welcome back. We who believe the Bible have been expecting your return. But as the days of, they put a scripture right there. Yeah. They don't know what's going on. But then it says, now remember, when the Pentagon reveals them to us on the nightly news in an interview streamed live on YouTube, you didn't miss the rapture, and we are not in the tribulation. When that happens, we will simply be witnesses, the fulfillment of the prophecy of Jesus in the days of Noah. When it happens, the pre-tribulation rapture will literally be moments away from taking place. They don't know what the rapture is, man. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the actual purpose of these UFOs, which are the chariots. Like I said, they're coming back to beam up the elect. That's it. Everybody can't be a part of that. Only Israelites can be a part of that. Let's see. Let's continue to read. It says, Pentagon whistleblower warns of UFO intelligence failure on level of 9/11. Slovakia. From the NY Post, Luis Lu Elizondo, former head of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, has told the Post about the documents slated for release in June under a mandate containing former President Donald Trump's $2.3 trillion appropriations bill for this year. The whistleblower said the highly anticipated report will address what UFO believers have been clamoring to discover about tic-tac shaped objects that the Navy saw in 2004, the strange cues within spears seen by naval aviators in 2014, and mysterious black triangles reported around the world. I am not a UFO guy. I am an investigator. My job was simply to collect the data and speak the truth, Elizondo told the U.S. Sun. There was something in our skies. We don't know what it is. We don't know how it works. We don't know fully what it can do. We don't know who is behind the wheel. We don't know its intentions. And there isn't a damn thing we can do about it. You got that right. He added, there was nothing you can do against these chariots, man. Nothing at all. Once these chariots show themselves in full force, Esau can't do nothing against it. Esau ain't gonna be able to do nothing against it, man. This is gonna be a what they call that in Mortal Kombat, not a fatality, flawless victory. It's gonna be a flawless victory, man. You're not gonna get one hit in when you go against Yahweh and those angels, man. It says, if it turns out we have been leapfrogged technologically by former adversaries, then we are dealing with an intelligence failure on the level of 9/11. Elizondo told the outlet, it took 3 years to write the 9/11 report, and I am not sure if these things have been in our skies for decades, that 180 days is enough time to provide the level of information Congress is asking for and deserves, he added. So pretty much he's saying the same thing here. Then they saying the same thing here. Then it's right here. It says, when asked whether Russia and China are also studying UFOs, he said, we have every reason to believe that foreign adversarial countries are equally, if not more, interested in these topics than we are. That has been validated through various sources. We are certain about that, he added to the outlet. Read more. So that's pretty much it. Pretty much it on this, because they're going to just get into a whole lot of other things at the bottom of this article. But like I said, if you want to read this whole thing, just go to nowtheendbegins.com and look for Pentagon whistleblower warns that the United States government has failed to warn the public of the intensity of UFO incursions to Earth. Now, like we've been saying all along, man, these chariots are showcasing themselves more and more. And people are starting to realize that there's another life form out here, and people don't know what it is. People are asking questions. They're like, who's behind these mysterious objects, these flying objects? You know, what's going on? What are their intentions? So forth and so on. They don't know, but we know through the Spirit and through these scriptures that those are the angels. That's Yahweh, that's, you know, and those are the chariots of the Lord, man. You know, the chariots of the Lord have always showcased themselves, you know, around brothers while they were at camp. Last year, you know, in Chicago, they said it was, man, dozens of them that disappeared when all the brothers was out doing, when all the brothers were out last summer. They appeared around other brothers and everything like that in certain areas, you know. And then, like I said, when you read the scriptures, you will read about, you know, salvation from the chariots. Like, for instance, Enoch, he was beamed up in the chariot that he was translated. He never died. All right. So it's a lot of stories, like I said, that you can get into to prove that those so-called UFOs are chariots, and they're going to be doing major damage in the last days. And they're going to be delivering a lot of Israelites, the elect. So let's start with this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. So the people that's going to see these chariots, they're going to be troubled with terrible fear. You know, when you look at movies like Independence Day and any other movie likewise, where they showcase aliens and UFOs and everything like that, people are afraid because they don't know the intentions. They don't know what these things might do. You know, they see these things pop up in the sky and it comes full force and it looks terrifying. You know, just like when you read Ezekiel, the first chapter, it describes what the chariots look like and who are behind those chariots, which were the angels. You know, and it describes what the angels look like. And, you know, it describes, you know, fire coming out from those chariots and all kind of other forms. People are going to see these chariots and they're going to be scared, man. They're going to be shaking in their boots, you know, and it is what it is, man, because they don't know what's happening. But when we see it, you know, we're going to be happy. We're going to be, you know, trembling as well, because now it's going to be the split second where we're going to see it. We're going to be like, oh, shit, like, is this it? Like, are we finna make it or are we finna die? You know, because we know what the intentions are going to be. We're going to see those chariots and we're going to be like, oh, man, you know, we hope that they put that beam over us so we can be delivered. OK, but everybody else, man, they're going to be shaken up by it, man. And that's the strangeness of his salvation, because you got to think about it. That is a strange thing. You know, whenever people think about the Lord coming back to save his people, you know, people think about Jesus, first of all, which Jesus isn't his name. His real name is Yahweh. All right. And when they think about, you know, him coming back, they think about him coming back on a white horse. So he just coming back in his glory with a big smile on his face. And while all kind of evil is going on the earth, he's just going to say to everybody, it's OK. I'm here now. We're all going to come home together and live in peace. It's not going to be like that, man. It's not going to be like that at all. The Lord, Yahweh, is going to come back and he's going to wreak havoc on this place. He's going to bring all kind of hell. He's going to make people afraid of him. People are going to be afraid of him, man. He's going to come back with the angriest face you've ever seen, man. OK, verse 3, and it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes a derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Because people are going to be looking at the certain individuals that's going to be saved from those chariots. They're going to be looking at who? The Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Americans, the minorities of this world. They're going to be looking at these people who are at the bottom for so long, being spat on, killed, you know, ravished. All of these things, man. They're going to be looking like these are the people that's getting beamed up on these chariots. And it's going to be strange. Like I said, man, when you see this thing and you see these people who actually get beamed up in those chariots and then they realize that nuclear fire is coming their way, they're going to wish that was them, you know, because they're going to realize that that nuclear fire is about to hit them and there's no way they can escape. All right. And that's going to be a strange thing. That's a strange thing. You tell somebody right now, walk up on them, you know, you just have a regular conversation. And then he just be like, man, the Lord, man, he's finna come back on this UFO, man. He's gonna save his people by beaming people into these spaceships. People will laugh at you. People will instantly laugh at you, man. They'll be like, hold on, man. Because the thing is, they think of the Lord and they think of him as this ultra powerful being, which he is. Don't get me wrong, which he is, but they always put this type of title upon him where they be like, man, God doesn't need to travel around in a spaceship. The Most High can do whatever he want to do, man. That's how powerful he is. If he want to travel around in a so-called spaceship, he can do that, man. If he want to save his people through the waves of a UFO, he can do that. People just think of the Most High and think of like, yeah, he just gonna have this magical power and just within like a snap of a finger, you know, people would just be, you know, not translated or transformed, teleported to a whole nother area, and then people are just saved. They're just instantly in another area where they're safe and everything like that. No, man. The Most High is very dramatic. He is very, very dramatic, man. And he's going to bring a lot of drama in these last days. So you got to remember that, man. He could do whatever he wants. People need to stop putting this certain title and this certain image upon the Most High and just go off what is written in the scriptures. Okay? So now let's get Zechariah 5:1. And it says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. What is a flying roll? The chariot, man. Whenever you Google the word UFO, what do those UFOs look like? They look like rolls. They're in a circular form, and they fly in the air. Okay? And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone on that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Okay? So this is what's going to happen, man. Those chariots, the flying rolls, the UFOs, they're going to be the curse that goes over the face of the whole earth. Why is going to be a curse? Because they're going to destroy America and other parts of the world, man. It's going to be a whole lot of hell, a whole lot of laser beams being shot. All kind of things is going to be happening when these chariots arrive, man. You know, when you think of a curse, what is it? Something that's bad, that's been implanted in your life, that's been in your life or whatever, and it's just bringing all kind of evil times towards you, you know? Whenever anything happens to you, just be like, man, I'm cursed, I'm cursed, I'm cursed. For instance, when you read Deuteronomy 28 chapter, start from verse 15 and read on down, it speaks about the curses that was going to happen to the nation of Israel. For instance, going into slavery, you not loving your family, your woman going against you, so forth and so on. Bad times, harsh times, those are curses. And this is going to be another curse with the chariots. Why? Because these chariots are going to be putting a lot of people to death and are going to help destroy America as a whole. Okay? So at the end of the day, these flying rolls ain't going to be none to be played with. This is why we always say, you know, trying to get right with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Because if you don't, those chariots could look at you and put, instead of that beaming light, you're going to get that fire light. Your ass going to get lit up, man. And you ain't trying to have that, man. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. And it says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Who was that man? Yahweh Shai. Who are the thousands of heaven? The angels. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. So everything that was seen under him trembled. That's what I said. Who are those things? The people of the earth. Everybody that's going to see Yahweh Shai and these angels come back, they're going to be trembling. They're going to be scared because they're going to see the glory of our Lord and the power of those chariots, man. And they're going to be afraid. They're going to be like, man, this is something else. Because people are so used to this world right now, man. They're not used to seeing anything outside of the box. And when they see these things, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible times. Verse 4, and it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number for the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So these men that's going to come from the four winds of the earth, these are going to be the different militaries, the different armies that's going to stop in the midst of World War III and they're gonna try to take down Yahweh Shai. They're gonna try to subdue him. They're gonna try to pretty much try to kill him. But at the end of the day, you can't kill the Lord, man, because the Lord created you and everything that you see and everything that you live. So how you gonna kill the person that created everything that you know? It doesn't make any sense, man. But these different armies from these different countries and lands, they're gonna stop in the midst of World War III, and they're gonna realize they need to fight together to try to take down these chariots, which are the so-called UFOs, and the Lord. And it says, verse 6, and it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had made himself a great mountain and flew upon it. What mountain flies, man? It's going to be a UFO. It's going to be a so-called UFO. It's going to be a chariot. It's a great mountain because it's going to be the largest chariot you've ever seen. And it's going to say it right here, verse 7. And it says, but I will have seen a region or a place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. That's how huge it was. You couldn't tell where it began, and you couldn't tell where it ended. Verse 8, and it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So these different armies, especially Esau, they're going to be afraid to actually try to subdue Yahweh Shai, but they're going to, the Most High is going to put the spirit upon them to fight anyway, because they got to fulfill prophecy, man, and they're going to be taken down. And it says, verse 9, and it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So Yahweh Shai, he's going to be shooting this fire out of his mouth, different lasers, all kinds of spiritual power is going to be happening, man. All kinds of spiritual power is going to be happening to bring down Esau and to destroy these different armies. Because when you read Daniel the 2nd chapter, and I believe Daniel the 7th chapter, you can read about the great stone, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, then you read about the statue, which is the four mightiest kingdoms, and pretty much that stone, which is Yahweh Shai, he's gonna bring down that statue that Daniel was talking about. All of these different nations, man. He's gonna bring down all of these different nations, and he's gonna put all of those heathen nations into slavery, man. And it is what it is. All kind of miracles is gonna happen, man. You're gonna see people getting beaten up in the chariots. You're gonna see these elect men with spiritual power. You're gonna see Yahweh Shai and his glory, these angels, the chariots. This is gonna be a whole climax, the whole end of the movie, man. It's gonna be exciting times, but terrible times for others. All right. So let's get Revelation 1:7, because when you read verse 3, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. Now, what are those? Like I said, when you can prove those things, and what this is talking about, Revelation 1:7. And it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Those clouds are the chariots, and every eye shall see him. And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. So the people that were there back in the days when Yahweh Shai was living, how are they going to see him? Be through reincarnation, because those same people that were living back then are back here now. So those people that pierced him, meaning these certain Edomites, because they were the Romans, they're going to be here, and they're going to try to take down Yahweh Shai. And you're going to see the 2/3 of Jake, that guy Yahweh Shai killed in the first place. All right. Because Jake was one of the main one that was like, crucify him and do all these other things to him. So Jake is going to see him as well. And it says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. What does it mean, wail? People are going to be crying. People are going to be in pain. People are going to be in fear, because they're going to see Yahweh Shai come in those clouds, which are the chariots, and they're going to, be in terrible fear, man. Verse 8, it says, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. So he's going to be Almighty in that day, man. Okay. So now let's get Psalms 104. Let's get Psalms 104 and 1. And it says, bless the Lord, O my soul, O my Lord, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. See? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. Now let's go to the blue letter real quick. Let's go to the blue letter real quick just so we can see the definition of this word chariot. Okay. So he make his clouds his chariot. We just read in Revelation chapter 1 verse 7 that he's going to come in clouds, right? And those clouds are going to be the chariots, man. That's why when you read, here it is, Strong's definition, right? Okay, so you read down here for the word chariot, it says Strong definitions. It says a vehicle as written on chariot. So what is a vehicle? Whenever you say the word vehicle in these days, well, you think of what? Motorcycles, cars, planes, blimps, something that you can control, something that you can drive, right? So what are these vehicles that the Lord is talking about in Psalms 104? So let's read it again. This is Psalms 104, verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who make the clouds his chariot. How do you make a cloud? How do you make a cloud a chariot, man? All right. This is speaking about those chariots being within the skies. There's literally a video that was uploaded by GMS Get This Work, where this man literally just, you know what? No, it's okay. I'll wait. It was a video that he uploaded, and this man recorded a moving cloud, and it was moving as fast as he was driving. All right, but we just read in the article that those chariots can move even faster than that. They can go up to 11,000 miles per hour, and they could probably go faster than that as well. Apostle Zahar brung out that a chariot could go from New York to California in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, man. That's crazy to the fullest. So at the end of the day, these chariots, these vehicles that the Lord is in, that these angels are in, are going to be the UFOs. It's like I said, when you look at these different cartoons, movies, TV shows, you see the aliens, and those aliens are supposed to be the angels. All right, what are they doing? You see their little control panel, the different buttons that they have, their steering wheels, and so forth and so on, and they driving what? UFOs. Those are the vehicles of the Lord, man. All right. So at the end of the day, this is what the Lord is going to come back in and on. He's going to come back in a large chariot. So when you read certain scriptures, and it says, like in Revelation, when it says he's coming in clouds, you just got to decipher it through the scriptures and through the spirit. This is talking about the chariots. All right. So let's get one last scripture. Let's get Isaiah 63 and 1. And it says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? All right, speaking about Edomites, speaking about the so-called white man, Esau. That is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak of righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. This is going to happen in the kingdom of heaven, and a lot of Edomites are going to be slain on this side as well, because it's going to be the elect men out here that's going to become hunters, and a lot of those Edomites are going to get caught out here by the elect. But ultimately, this is going to happen in the kingdom, because they're going into slavery, and they're going to have to receive double for everything that they have done on this side to the children of Israel. But this is the point right here in verse 4. It says, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So the day of vengeance is the Lord's, man. It's the Lord's, because he's angry to the fullest right now. And he's coming back to make sure that he presents and showcases that anger in a major way. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is what we're waiting for, and this is what we're hoping for, because the only way that we can get up out of here is if this place is destroyed. And we know through the spirit and through prophecy that this place will be destroyed through the fashion of World War III, with the nuclear warheads being shot over here, and through the power of Yahweh Shai and the angels and the chariots coming over here, destroying everything, man. All right, except for the elect. That's it. So at the end of the day, the Most High will have his revenge on his enemies, which are the so-called white people, which are the Edomites and these other heathen nations, man. And he's going to have vengeance upon 2/3 of his people as well, because 2/3 of his people did not want to come and listen to his words. They didn't want to hearken to his words when he was able to be found. So he's going to have anger upon a lot of his own people as well. So at the end of the day, this is why we give out the warning, so then you won't feel so terrible when the chariots, up here. Because like I said, if you're not in this truth and you don't know what's going on, when you see these chariots and they come in their full force, you're gonna see them. You're gonna be like, man, you just want to get away from them. You don't want to be nowhere near them. But the ones that's in the know, we're actually gonna be standing there. We actually gonna be standing there wherever we at. All right. And we're going to be looking to see what is about to happen to us. We're going to be like, are we about to get beamed up, or are we about to be left? Let's get that real quick. Matthew 24. Let's get Matthew 24. And hold on one second. We can start right here too. Matthew 24:30. And then it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Salakia. So that's what it's going to be, man. He's going to come in those clouds, those chariots. He's going to be coming with that power. He's going to be coming with that great glory, man. So it is what it is. Then you go down to verse let's start at 39. It says, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, this one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. This is talking about when the chariots come. They're going to beam up one person, two people, whatever the case may be, and the other person is going to be left. They're going to be left down here to burn, man. So it is what it is. So that's why when we see these chariots, we're going to be looking up in the sky and we're going to be like, okay, here it is. Did I do enough to make it? Did I keep the faith to the end? We're going to be looking like, hey, Lord willing, we're going to be like, look, we ain't got the chip. We've been keeping the faith. We've been pushing the word. We've been doing everything we were told to do. Now this is it. Once we see the chariots, we're going to look up in the sky. We're going to be like, are we going to be left? Are we going to be the one taken up? Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, we're taken up, because we already know if we don't be taken up, that's our demise, man. That's our damnation. And we're not trying to feel that. That's why it says in verse 42, it says, watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. So at the end of the day, let's keep reading. It says, but know this, that if the good man of the house had known and what watch the thief would come, he will have watched and will not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. All right. So at the end of the day, this is what we're doing. We're looking at the news. We're looking at the things that's going on around the world. We're taking heed to the signs of the Lord, and we're preparing ourselves. We're doing the work. We repentant. We converted. We're doing everything that was told of us, because we realize that we are the chosen people. We realize that we are Israelites. And we realize and believe and know that we're not supposed to be living according to the ways of this world. We don't want to be left down here. We want to be the ones that was taken. We want to reach salvation, man. So we watch and we seek the Lord while he's able to be found, man. All right. Like the scriptures say, make no tarrying and turn to the Lord, because if you don't turn back to the Lord, you're going to be left down here. You're going to have to feel that billion-degree heat, man. Or even hotter than that, because like I said, it's going to be 200 million missiles that's going to be shot over here. It's going to be very hot, man, and that fire is going to stand very tall. So at the end of the day, we look and we watch for our Lord so we can hopefully be delivered, man. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. People, Esau is realizing that these chariots are showcasing themselves more and more and more and more. And the reason being is because it's getting to the point where they're about to just come in full force. And everything is just about to pop off soon. So at the end of the day, man, keep your eyes and your ears open, man, because we almost out of here. We almost about to be delivered out of here. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do. That's all you got to do. Keep doing what the Lord told you to do. Keep praying, keep fasting, and watch that everybody else get get burned, man. Lord willing, we don't get burned. So hopefully this was edifying, man. So with that, I'm gonna say call Halayim, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone, which I learned this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aqua that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazah. I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharala. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.